So, not to interject, but let me give him a warm welcome. This is my brother Ellie. I went to high school with him. We won a lot of basketball games together. We've done a lot of dope things together, and I wanted to get him on a podcast because I mean he's a great father. He has two boys that he loves dearly, and he's one of the fathers that I can go on my Instagram, I can call and just see how he rolls with them, and like it motivates me to be better. So I just wanted to make sure he got on here because listen, we challenge each other as fathers. We challenge each other as basketball players, and it's always good to see other dope fathers doing what they're supposed to. So I just wanted to make sure he got on the platform with us. So excuse the tardiness, but he's late to everything. I'm just happy you showed up, though. You already know.
What's one of the themes or topics that you wanted to have him answer?
How is it being a black father of two boys? Because we're on the opposite sides of the spectrum. I have two daughters.
It's karma.
It's we can't say it's karma because I've also listen. I know dudes who've done way worse things I've ever done in my past, and they got all boys.
Okay.
Maybe one of them.
You may be one of them.
Yeah, talking to
But
Mike.
it's just it's fearful having two boys because the world gives I feel like women grace, but boys they don't get the same luxury of being a grow up because they're cute now, but when they become men, they're not going to be cute. They're going to be, they're going to be a target. So how is it having two boys? Do you have any talks on that? Or
You're in fear?
Thoughts on that?
Having two boys is tough, right? Right now, I got a 6-year-old. I have a 1-year-old. He'll be 2 in April.
Yeah.
Right. So he's teetering that line. But my 6-year-old, he's knowledgeable, right? So he sees everything. He's aware of everything that's going on, and he asks questions all the time, right? And he's watching every single thing I do. Right. So it's dope at the same time, but it's also okay. Who do I bring around him? Yeah. Right? What do I expose him to? And then also, like, I'm with my girl. You know what I mean? Like, that's their mother. So I also have to be aware of, like, a mother's love, right? But as they start to get older, a mother's love could be, like, it can hinder at some points, right? Because that's their baby. They can be 21 years old. They could have killed 3 people.
She don't care.
Yeah, and she don't care. She's like, that's my baby. My baby would never.
Yeah.
But as a father, you're like, yes, my son has that in him because we all know as black men, especially growing up in the city, you have that switch, right? Because you got a code switch all the time.
Yeah.
But especially if you grew up where we come from, I'm not gonna say where I come from because we all from Boston, just probably different areas, but at the end of the day, you got to protect your own and you got to protect yourself. So your sons learn that through moving through life, right? So I'm aware of like my son got that switch. He's gonna have that switch and he'll be like, you're not messing with me. Can I curse? But yeah, you're not fucking with me, right? And so sometimes you have to defend yourself. Sometimes you get put in bad situations because your friends are in that situation. And I grew up with, like T said, I knew T since 9th grade, right? There's been plenty of situations we've been in, and I didn't grow up with a father, right? And so a lot of my socialization came through my friends. A lot of learning how to be a man, which is no definition to be a man, came through my friends. And you have to pick and choose what is right for you and what you can kind of do. So I'm aware of that with my sons. I'm happy that they have me in their lives. Am I being dumb to the situation where they're going to be like, they're going to listen to everything I say? Absolutely not. Right. But that's why I surround them around people like Tyrone, people like my friends, right? Because they'll point them in the right direction ultimately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said be aware of a mother's love. Are you saying that you and her kind of have different co-parenting styles? Like you have a different way that you go about like raising, and she has a different way she goes about raising?
No, we definitely do because she was raised in a 2-family household.
Okay.
Right? I just grew up with just my mother. You know what I mean? So the way she views things is totally different from the way I view things. And it's not just because she grew up in a 2-family household. It's 2 different houses, right? So a mom could have experienced something I didn't experience, right? And vice versa.
So how do you guys kind of like align your parenting styles, or are you guys still clashing? You guys figuring it out right now?
Oh, it's always clashing, right? Because initially, like, we're people, we're human beings, right?
Yeah.
So you don't agree, I don't agree, butt heads, right? But it's communication at the end of the day, right? So it's kind of like, okay, let's talk about this. Let's slow it down a little bit before we start getting mad at each other. Because the ultimate goal is we're not trying to ruin our relationship. but we also are still trying to raise these kids. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. Tyron, were there any other questions that you want to kind of pitch that we talked about?
Well, I think we should since he came in late as always, we should ask him some of the questions we asked earlier, like about like being raised on survival. All of those were great questions. But I guess I'll ask you, like, do you feel like you were raised off love or survival?
I feel like personally I was raised off of love, right? I raised like I feel like I was raised differently off of like a lot of my friends. Just to give everybody a little background, my family's Muslim, and my family they're Jamaicans. Like, so I'm like second.
Shout out to my man Jamaica. We got 2 Jamaicans on the couch right here. Where's
I'm Jamaican too.
Where's the beef patties at?
I'm Jamaican too, definitely. Yeah, but being Jamaican and being Muslim at the same time, your family's Muslim, right? So it's super love, but they're trying to also raise you through the religion. But to touch on a love part is family's family, especially when you're from the island. There's nothing that you can do a bunch of wrong stuff, but at the end of the day, that's family, right? And they realize the sacrifices that they had to take to get here and for their kids to have kids and stuff like that. So it's definitely off of love, always.
I don't know. I just think it's important for us to have platforms like this. Like I said before, like I've done a dad ball, which was last June, where it was an event to get fathers together to bring their kids. I do a monthly event where I just get fathers to talk, and it's like a monthly social about fathers just building them. It's important for us to just debrief, because as men, we don't have a locker room to just talk about the shit we really deal with on a daily basis. And having those outlets is very, very important, because y'all can see me. T's always hustling. T's always doing this. He looks good, but like sometimes I need somewhere where I can just go and just get all of this off my chest.
Yeah.
Because I keep a lot of stuff away from my house purposely. I don't want to bring the negative energy that I deal with in like outside home. But this type of stuff to me is very important, because listen, as men, like I said earlier, it's hard being a man. It's even harder being a man with kids. Yeah. You know? So I just think that the more we do this, the better it is for our mental health in the long run. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And mental health is extremely important too, especially if this whole stigma where black men, we aren't really nobody really showcase that for us. You know, we kind of have to like get it out of the mud. We have to either go to therapy, or we just kind of like take out our pain out on other people, or alcoholism and all that. We just find which is very important, because no matter what you go through, right, you want to be able to alleviate some of like the constraints or some of the pains that come with being a father, or come with being a black man, especially in America. Right. Because it's dangerous, but at the same time, the mindset, you have to be able to create the mindset where it's not dangerous. That means you have to change your behavior. You have to change your behavior. You have to change the way you talk to people, especially around your kid, because that's a sponge, absorbing everything you say and do.
You got to leave with love and respect with all that you do. And that's very important. Because like you said, having kids, you also got to be mindful of who you have your kids around.
Yo, I just was having
just like Ellie just touched on.
Yo, my little.
Yeah, you got to be mindful. Like, I do my very best to keep my kids around people that have love for me, or like they want to have the right energy, because that shit's dangerous. The little intricate details of energy that you have your kids around can transfer to them being at school, on a bus, and you wonder, why is my kid acting different? Who do you have your kid around? That is very, very important.
To take it even further, like I was literally on the car ride here with my cousin. I was literally saying, like, yo, you got to watch who you have kids with. Yeah. Right? So.
That's another goal.
Yeah. But,
for real.
But for advice to, like, anybody that wants to have kids, or they're in love with somebody and they want to have kids, you have to meet this person's family. In some sort of way, right? Because if I go over this girl's house and everybody's in a wheelchair, these kids are 12 years old, they have Down syndrome, autistic, it's so you have to make wise decisions about, like, okay, is this what I want my fatherhood to be? Yeah. Right? And it's no fault on her or their family. It's just, okay, maybe our bodies don't align at
And
the
that's
end
where
of the day.
thinking with your dick goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because nobody looks past that. Like, damn, your mom is. You don't want to say it, but you be in your mind like, damn, my mom is ugly. She want to be ugly when she get older.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, you know what I mean? But seriously, like what he was saying, back off of what Tyrone was saying, it's like me and him. I call him probably like every other day. We have those. We have. It could be just a bullshit conversation. It could be about whatever's going on in the world. You, as black men, we need that person to pick up the phone and be able to call. And a lot of us don't have that. You know what I'm saying? On a positive note.
Yeah.
You got to have, 1, 2, 3. I mean, people that you know that you could trust with your life. You could call them and be like, yo, bro, I'm feeling fucked up today, man. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what's going on, dog? Should I pull up? What's up? We need that because I don't know if it's our pride that doesn't make us go have therapy, these therapy sessions, because the ladies are doing it. They're going in there. They're going to crying.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about therapy?
For me, I think I went through therapy when I was growing up. I went through a lot of therapy.
Was it voluntary?
No.
It's like church.
You know what I'm saying. So, and mine was more of the fact of. It was kind of like getting a check. You know what I mean? So my people was like, yo, we got to go see that man. Yeah. We're going to go see Mr. B. Yeah, and it's like, all right, cool. But now that I'm older, it's like, there's times, man, like I go through shit at work, then I'm looking at bills, then I'm thinking about, damn, I want to do this on my, it's like, yo, let me call my dog. You know what I mean? Because sometimes just that one phone call can stop you from doing some dumb shit that you have set in your mind. A lot of brothers don't have that, man. They really don't have somebody that they can really call that's going to really not, you don't need to check me, but check me.
You don't talk to your girl like that?
What do you mean?
When you going crazy? You'd rather have talk to your
Oh no, you can't talk to her like that.
You can't.
No. I mean sometimes, but
in all defense, sometimes the women don't get it, and I don't want to be sexist.
Sexism.
I don't want to be sexist, but like, there's something that your bro or your homie will just understand, and sometimes your woman will judge you.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking this way, like I can talk about it. I had a conversation with her, which is my fiance, a few days ago, and I forgot what we said. But no matter what the message was, she said, "Well, you didn't tell me." All she's caring about is I didn't tell her what I spoke about with the boys. It wasn't about the message or how I felt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She
focused on the wrong message.
And I feel like sometimes, not to be sexist, but women are emotional and rational rather than worry about what was said. Let's not worry about the emotions of it, because sometimes I need you to help me, but you can't help me because you're being too emotional.
So let me ask you this, right? So let's break it down for a quick second, right? So you tell her something that's bothering you, right? You give it to her. How do you think that she'll respond to it? Not necessarily, like, let's be honest, we've all been in different relationships, right? We're all with women now, right? But we've been in different relationships. From your experience, how do you think that women take when a man finally opens up and like they'll be like, hey, this is what I'm going through, right? And I'm gonna let you go from there. Yeah.
Like I said, it depends if you told them first.
No, you told her first.
Okay.
What is the approach? What was your experience of the approach that a woman usually gives you?
That's such a tough question. Damn.
Like a condescending, fake simple.
It depends what it is, though. To be honest, because there's levels to conversations.
She never tell you man up?
Come again?
She never tell you to man up?
No, you would. I would never be with a woman that ever told me.
No. Well, I'm gonna be real. I'm an emotional man. I'm very emotional.
Okay.
If I feel some sort of way, I'm gonna tell my boys. I leave my emotions on my sleeve. My heart is who I am.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. I feel like in my house, if I tell my lady how I'm really feeling, she'll listen, and she's very thoughtful. So I can go home and we can talk about anything. But I do feel like she wants to know about it first.
Okay. Yeah.
but all right, which is valid because you have a family, you have kids with this woman, right? But I'm sorry. So which is valid, right? She wants to know about it first. That's your girl, right? You have a family, you have kids with her. She wants to know about it first.
Yeah.
What is the approach of the advice that she's going to give you? And is it helpful?
I feel like you're hinting towards something. I'm trying.
No, I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the question.
Is it helpful? I do think it's helpful.
In which way?
Because I feel like women, they're gonna tell you how they really feel about it, but sometimes it's not going to be in a direction that you want to handle it. Like I talked to her about life, about money, about events, but I just feel like sometimes it's in a way that I don't want to hear it, you know? Because I can be very truthful with her, and she's not gonna like it, but she could be truthful with me, and it's in a different light. Like we can talk about fucking weight, we can talk about working out. She can say whatever she wants to say to me, but if I say it, it's in a different context.
So what's the approach on the advice that you give her? So because you didn't answer what I asked you either. Just to let you know that. Like you didn't answer what I asked you. So but you brought it to you brought it to the vice versa, right? So say your girl brings you a problem, how do you handle it then? Since you didn't answer what I asked you.
What kind of problem is it?
It's so crazy that he's being generic. It's hard for me to answer that, but like I tell the truth because my girl brings me problems between the girls, and I'm gonna tell her like it is.
You tell the truth, and then what?
What do you mean, and then what?
You can tell the truth, okay? What do you mean by the truth?
So sometimes people want to hear what they want to hear, or they want to hear the truth.
It's like, yo, does this dress make me look fat? Type shit.
I'm gonna tell you, this dress don't look good on you today, baby.
Which is fine.
Right.
Which is fine.
Right.
Which is fine.
Right.
Which is fine.
I think there's levels to your question. I think you're being too vague. I think you need to go.
Certain shit
I think
like
you
that,
need to go where you need to go.
Certain shit like that, you have to be honest about.
Yeah, go, because I feel like you're going somewhere, but you're being vague. It's very hard for me to answer your question.
So say your girl comes home from work, right?
Yep.
And she's telling you about, yo, this is what happened at my job, and da-da-da-da, and this girl did this, and we have this issue, and I'm trying to figure out and solve it. What type of advice are you going to give her?
I'm going to tell her, listen, at the end of the day, leave work stuff at work as best as you can.
All right. So
that's going to be my first answer because my golden rule is...
She's going to get mad at you.
She's not because we speak about this. I like to keep the outside word outside because my woman brings work home and it screws up our personal relationship. Oh. She doesn't know how to separate the two.
So that's why I asked you, like, yo. So when you do have those moments, right, which is few far in between for a lot of men. Some men do go home and they spill everything and they do that, right? Yep. I don't know those type of guys. Not to say there's nothing wrong with that, right? But when you do go home and you have those moments, what is the response
from her, or from me?
From her.
Well, I would say when I go and I have those moments, she's very supportive. She does her best to rectify the situation by talking things through with me because she also knows if I'm talking to her about it, it's bothering me because I do a very good job of keeping that type of stuff away from her. Because my problems, it sucks, but they're my problems. Yeah. And it also sucks because my problems, I talk to my guys more than I talk to her about the problem. You know, like, and that's the crazy part.
Is it solution based or is it more like I'm on your side base?
It's more I'm on your side.
I'm
on your side.
That's where I was ultimately trying to get at, right? Yes, I had an ulterior motive to the whole shit, but
yeah, I'm on your side. That's definitely
for me. I love my girl, right?
Yeah.
She's super supportive, right? A lot of the time, she is solution based, right? But when you start like those intimate moments, it's on your side base, right? Where a man is a lot of times, for me, I can only speak for myself, and I'm sorry. Yep. Super solution based. Yeah. So what can we do next? All right. So she did that. What can you do now? Where's your parameters of what you can do next? Right. So I feel like men are, and a lot of men I know are a lot of solution based, where women are solution based to an extent, and then they're like, especially when it comes to their man, they're like, I need to be supportive and like let him know, and that's why I think that like there's kind of a disconnect sometimes where women feel like, oh, I can't talk to you because the nigga's always trying to give a solution.
And you worrying about being emotional.
And they're more like, you should be on my side with this. Yeah.
But isn't that because men are supposed to lead though?
Where are you trying to jump to?
Yo, you're like a firecracker over there.
Talking about.
So we're talking about kids. He's like, I don't have kids. My girl swallows. I'm just like, bro, that has nothing to do with the conversation. Like, why are you doing that to us?
Asking questions.
So so let me ask you this, right? You said, are men supposed to lead, right? Where did where did you get that from?
General. Yeah. Well, we have these conversations a lot. So a lot of people like in this room will say that they won't get into a relationship because they weren't financially ready or they weren't ready to lead. So it's not really just me kind of just things on my ass. These are actually like testimonies that niggas have said.
Yeah.
You know
But I'm asking you personally, like, how do you feel about it?
Me? I think solution based would make sense because men would be needed to lead in areas where, like, I feel like if you were looking for your woman to lead, she would get like the burden of like, oh, he's looking for me for answers for everything, and she'll end up dropping you.
You think she'll end up dropping you because she's always looking to you for answers?
No. That you're looking for her for answers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think there's a balance. I don't know what the equation is, but there's a balance.
You both balance out between both of y'all. I mean, y'all.
You gotta get a mic, bro.
I'm sorry.
Y'all in a relationship. Y'all are a couple, right? Two minds. So I don't know. This ain't 1950 or 40. Like, this is a new year. I mean, new year, man. Like,
society doesn't allow you to do whatever the hell was happening in the 1930s.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. So, I mean, when you're home or whatever, how does it go? Like, if something happens, are you like how does things go between you and your girl? Like, if something's going bad, do you guys talk about it? Like, what do you do?
You got three.
No.
You got three.
No. Right now we're
It's getting
figuring
spicy in
everything
here,
out. So,
y'all.
you know what I mean? I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna pass that question.
Well, wait.
It's okay. I'll take the charge. It's okay. Wait. So what's the question?
Like I think you said if things get spicy at home and there's some sort of discrepancies, how do you handle it?
All right.
Are you leading or are you just?
I'm not married right now.
Well, no. You're in a relationship though, right?
You guys are living together?
Yes.
Oh, see.
We've been living together the last 7 years, man.
That's definitely married. Bro.
2 kids.
Yeah, that's married.
Since college.
Another one on the way
We
for
lived
him.
together in college, and we've been together.
Nigga, that's marriage, bro.
So I'm not gonna answer the question because he asked you.
Yeah, he did.
I have an answer, but
gotta
I
answer that question.
I want one of y'all.
Fuck, damn! I gotta take that charge. All right, cool. So there are times where I used to be very passive because me, like, everybody knows this. Like, I don't like confrontation, but now, like, ever since I hopped in a relationship, I have to like be able to address shit right then and there, and not let it like grow on its own. Because when it grows on its own, that means it has legs on its own. And the problem, you know how women get when, they assume the worst and all that. I wanted to kill that shit. You know what I'm saying? There are times where, like, I don't agree with, what she's, what she puts out there. And maybe my approach, because I'm an emotional man too. So sometimes the way the tone, my energy, sometimes it can scare people. And it's
Well,
not
give
okay.
us that energy right now. That's what I want to hear.
Nah, I'm not gonna give it to y'all. Nah, fuck it.
Nah, you're
So there were
speaking about
times.
something, so I wanna hear the
So
energy,
all right. So there was a time, right, where, like, have you ever So first of all, like, I would talk to her, be like, hey, let's get together, or you want me to come over this out there? Let's go. She's like, nah, I'm not feeling it. I'm like, all right, cool. Then, like, I'll see a tweet. Say something like, oh, when your man doesn't make plans. I'm like, wait, hold up. Oh, okay. So then.
You wanted him to lead?
Nah, yeah. This is. So then I didn't want to, like, go on the internet, go back and forth. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, all right, I'm going to give it a few days. Because I'm not going to spaz out. Because I did that before. She, you know what I'm saying? Like, She didn't like that.
So is that right?
It's not right.
No, I'm asking you, like, is it right at the fact that is you and your girl had a intimate conversation, right? And maybe you guys didn't agree at the end of the day, but y'all deaded it for the moment. Not to say it was done, because maybe it wasn't done for her, right? But her first reaction was to go to Instagram or Twitter and wrote whatever she wrote, and then you just so happen to be like in your leisure time. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I'm like, what? And mind you, this is not the only time.
But how do you respond to something that's like, I don't even do this internet shit?
I had to do this thing where I had to step out of my body and be like, yo, what should I do? I had to ask people, my friends, people who I know are gonna say some shit
Were
that's
they
very
internet
critical.
people?
Huh?
Were they internet people?
No, fuck them, and fuck the internet. Yeah. Anyways, it's real, actual people who've been through different situations, experience for this right one, and I had to reach out. I'm like, yo, sis, what should I do? Cause she'd be like, yo, just take a breather, give it a few days, let her know, like, yo, sometimes you gotta send her that text message like, hey, good morning, I hope you have a wonderful day, blah blah blah, and then you let her know, like, hey, can we be able to talk? Or be in person, because that emotional, like, you want to be in person, you want to be able to have that eye-to-eye contact.
Communication.
It's because y'all don't got no
Communication's
kids.
difficult.
That's the problem.
No, we don't have no. You
You
said
don't
that's
have
a problem?
You don't have any kids?
That's what I'm saying.
That's a question.
We
You don't got no kids. If they had kids, they would
You
understand.
don't have any kids?
Man, just pretend
They
like
don't
I have kids.
They don't have kids.
This is being recorded. Nobody can see my face.
Oh no, they're recording. That's why he said his wife. They're recording.
That's why we're asking you guys the question.
You don't have
Right.
any quiz? You don't have a quiz?
No quiz.
No, you don't have a quiz.
I don't have no quiz. I took a quiz last week.
Yeah, you don't have any kids.
I don't have no.
No,
kids.
not yet. Listen, I'm 27. I'm a
They don't
youngin.
have any kids. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 27.
Oh,
I
dope.
don't know.
How old are you,
wow.
Tata?
I'm 30.
30? That's
You're
dope.
30, 27.
Yep. I'm 34.
I'm age. How old are you?
37.
I'm
It,
35.
it's so crazy that like y'all are over here talking about like just relationships, but we need to quiz y'all on having kids. Y'all ask all these questions about kids.
At 20.
Can you imagine being a father right now? So my day was working, having to go do, like I said, one of the biggest presentations, pick up my kids, drop my kids off, go home, get the house ready, bring them to dance. Like, being a father is not the easiest task in the world, but it's a commitment that you have. Like I said, I'm all about being excellent.
I don't got his.
You know, they don't have no
Nah,
kids.
that's why we're asking you guys the question. But I was gonna say, when you guys had kids, were you guys ready? Did you guys mentally?
You're
think that
never
you were
ready to have kids.
You're never ready.
You're never ready to have kids.
I thought 33
I had
was
a
the
kid
age.
already.
Yeah.
No, and I'll be honest, right? I had my I had my little sister was my kid.
Yeah.
Right, and like my mom was sick and shit like that, so I took care of my little sister.
Yep.
Right, so when my mom passed, I was taking care of a 9-year-old, 10-year-old. You know what I'm trying to say?
How old was you?
I was 26, 27. No, I'm sorry, I was 28. I was 28 at the time.
Yeah.
I was around your age. I was 28 at the time, right? And mind you, I graduated from college late because I was chasing the hoop dream, and I finally realized I needed to get a fucking education and get my shit together. You know what I mean? So when everything just fell in place at the perfect time, right? I finally started working. I was able to kind of support this little kid, kind of. Right, kind of. Luckily, she wasn't a baby, and I had to buy Pampers and wipes and fucking formula and all the other shit, right? But I had an experience, right, because I had her underneath me, and she was a child. So, yes, I did have a little bit of knowing what it was supposed to be, but to have when little Junior came out,
That's a different beast.
it was a different beast. It was mine.
Yeah, because
And you also learn, because your sister was 9, you learn differently. Because my kids, they didn't sleep the first 2-3 years of their life. Like, meaning like more than 2-3. Well, not.
I feel bad for you.
I didn't sleep for the first 36 months because I had a daughter,
Sheesh.
Harper, who's 7 now, right? She didn't sleep more than 3 hours each day. Then I had Madison 23 months later. Same scenario. So I was tired for like 3-4 years straight. Meaning like they've only slept 4-hour increments. I used to be at work like I didn't know even how I don't even know how I processed and how I was functional. Because I didn't sleep for 4 years, legit. It's crazy, but like whenever somebody has a new kid, the first thing I ask them, "How's your baby sleeping?" Like, are you sleeping?
Through the night.
And when they say through the night,
night.
I'm hot. I'm heated because I'm like, I didn't sleep for 3 years. And it's no exaggeration. And then it got me and my fiance, we were switching off nights.
Oh.
So every other night was.
How'd you do it though?
Dang.
The baby didn't sleep in the bed though.
They was in the bassinet. But I had a 23-month-old baby, then another one right after.
Yeah.
So like I didn't have I had babies like back to back to back.
That's tough. That's tough.
You know?
So we had just the one.
And they slept through the night?
He slept through the night, but he was in the bed.
Oh hell no.
Oh, he lucky.
I mean, it takes a toll on everything. But
You're not getting no
but,
sex.
but no, there was very limited.
Yeah.
Very limited, right?
Yeah.
But what I will say, it helped for the sanity of everybody. Like for your
She could just
personal,
pop 'em
for your personal sanity. For the relationship, very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult, but you know what I mean. You work through it. You try your best to work through it.
learn
That's
how to
all it
maneuver.
is.
Yeah.
And we still together today, so
Yeah,
I
you had
mean,
to power through it. But that sounds terrible though.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I heard you.
No, hold on. Let me be very clear. I'm
There's
not
a-
opposed to marriage.
There's a lot of firecrackers
And
in
yes,
here.
I do plan on marrying her. It's the type. What did they say? Time and space.
Time is everything.
Time and space. Time and
Yep.
space. Time and space.
I mean, yeah, if you sacrifice Bucks for that long, you know what I mean?
Ah,
You gotta marry her.
Yo, you're fired. Oh man, y'all look crazy, yo.
So we do have to wrap it up. I hate that you came so late.
can I ask one more question though?
Let's do it.
And it might lead into another 15 minutes.
All right, let's go. Tyrone, you got the time?
No, I was supposed to bounce at 7:30, but I got 4 minutes for you, Ellie. You got 4 minutes.
go.
So here we go. Do you guys got girls? You both got girls. Do you plan on getting married? That's the next question.
Hell yeah.
Tate, he passed that shit fast.
Okay.
I said
Which is-
100.
Wow.
I said
I'm
You went like this. You said.
No. That's crazy.
Cultures too.
I said,
You know what I mean? Different cultures. I think. What's your nationality? Eritrean.
My people are from Nigeria.
Nigeria,
Both
okay.
my mom,
I
they're
heard
both.
about y'all.
Yeah. Wait. What you mean? Wait. What
Hush
you
puppy.
hear? Wait. What you hear about us?
Many wives. Many wives.
No. That's. It just depends. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So polygamy
Yeah,
is not
Many
your
wives
thing then.
depend on what?
Listen, I'm just. Huh?
You got a tie on, man. You
This is me.
That's the sauce.
Nah, but this is me. But like me and my girl, we always talk about this too. Cause like when I really like feel comfortable with somebody, like the sky's the limit. Like I don't care about nobody.
How long
Bro,
you guys been together?
It's been a year and a month. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? The sky's the limit.
how long you and your girl been together?
Oh, see,
it's on and off.
you said what?
Couldn't hear you.
Oh,
Could you say it in the mic, please?
yeah,
It's been on and off.
So
You're not welcome back, bro.
Man,
So-
he came late. He's leaving early.
so you said a year. You said on and off, right?
Yeah.
You're ready to get married. You said
It's gonna happen.
it's gonna happen with me too, right?
I didn't shame you.
No, there's no shame in my game. I'm not going nowhere. I have 2 kids. There's nowhere I can go.
That's true.
Like, there's nowhere I can go.
Don't worry.
Right? And
I'll trap the bitch too.
No, I'm not. I kind of trapped her. Oh my God. I looked her in her eyes. I looked her in her eyes, and I knew it was like this is kind of it.
I'm gonna be on.
This is for
I'm on
me.
the same
She's
wave,
fire. My girl's 6 feet. At the time, she had long ass fucking dreads. Eyes were like glass. You know what I'm trying to say? She was beautiful. There's nothing I can do, and she has a fire ass personality.
Those are NBA.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Right
Fire
there.
ass personality.
Yeah.
And you can't. Where the hell else? What else am I meeting around? There's no other bitch that I met. Not to call her a bitch, but you know what I'm saying. There's no other chick that I met that was even comparing to her, right? But the muck gets in the muck as the years goes on, right?
yeah.
And it's hard to remind each other about shit like that. But hell no, I'm not going nowhere. Where the fuck am I going?
especially when you put in all this time, and you know what I mean. Like
How we doing
time
on
is one
time?
thing, man. You got to look at it like again, like I said, we're here for a good time, not a long time. You can't. I mean, you can start over, but you don't get to know a person. Like, I'm still learning things about my wife every day. Like, damn, really? You know what I mean? Like, and we've been together, 15 years?
You ever met a nigga that met the love of his life, got divorced, and is out there again?
I mean, where
Like,
so
meaning like on a scene again?
yeah.
No,
So
he's
I
on
know
the scene
like
again.
some of the guys that I'm working with.
He needs.
He may be fly. He may be having.
Yeah.
He may have it together. That motherfucker.
He needs to go to.
Yo,
He needs,
broken,
he
bro.
needs to go to another city. Well, listen. Wait.
His love is
Listen.
not
listen.
here in Boston.
Listen, guys. We only got a minute left. We gonna wrap this up. What I will say is I want to just thank you guys for interviewing us. Ellie, I want to thank you for showing up. Mike, thank you for showing up. Like I said from the very beginning, it's very important for us to have outlets like this to talk about being a father, being a man, and just being a leader. It takes a lot to put yourselves on a platform like this to just talk about your life and talk about things that are usually private, but it's also healthy. So anytime we can get together, I think we should discuss these type of topics because at the end of the day, it brings out the best in us. Having a woman, having relationships that are very, like I said, very intricate. A lot of people, these are the type of conversations that can save people. So let's continue this.
I say that too.
Let's keep building, and most importantly, let's keep being better fathers and better men as we progress into the next stage of our lives.
Most definitely.
And as far as like the therapeutical thing, like we was just talking about, if you don't want to go and see a therapist, this can be your therapy. You know what I mean? Like to be able to sit down and just talk some good shit with some good brothers. You know what I mean? And talk your shit. Like don't hold back nothing. Whatever you want to say, you know what I mean? Just say it because we're gonna be judged once we walked out this door. You know what I mean? We'll at least have somewhere where we can sit and it's just all love. You know what I mean? And everybody's able to sit here and just. It's all it's all love. We're able to vibe off each other and release that tension, and we just need that, man.
Most definitely.
No, definitely. Like we just got invited. Well, I got invited here to talk about fatherhood. Fatherhood is not. If you're present and you care and you love, right? It's not hard, right? Because you know what's in your heart, right? It's everything else, as you just touched on. It's everything else that's around that makes it a little bit more difficult, right? Your son knows where or your daughter knows where your heart is, right? Because you're there. You're there. And not to say just being present is it. I do a bunch of stuff with my sons, right? But at the end of the day, I'm there with my kids. My kid needs to come to talk to me. Hey, I'm giving you advice. May not be the advice that everybody else wants to hear, but I'm giving my son that advice, and that's what makes him the person who he's going to be, right? But when the world gets involved and you're not able to be there with your kids as much as you need to be there with your kids, if you're not able to have these daily talks or every other day talk with your kids, that's when the complications come in, right? That's when a woman can say, oh, he ain't been there for his kid, or he ain't been there for this, or you're not worried about your family, right? But it's like you have to accumulate everything into it. Not to say women don't go through life and worldly tribulations, but we all go through it. But as long as you're there for your kids on a consistent basis and you're able to have a conversation when they need to talk or when they go through something, I think that's what it's all about. People make it more difficult than when it has to be at the end of the day, right? It's about time. It's not about money. It's about time. That's all it is.
I was gonna say, this has been a very enlightening conversation, and for fathers and for people who want to be fathers. And as soon as my girl stops swallowing, I'll join the club. I'll take all your guys' advice. But that's a wrap. Show and Tell Boston After Dark. Huh?